Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, very good morning. In the last class, we were discussing about the potential energy in an external electric field, right? Under this topic, we need to discuss three cases: the potential energy of a single charge in an external field, potential energy due to a system of charges in an external field, and potential energy of an electric dipole in an external field. And in the last class, we were finishing only the first case, that is the potential energy of a single charge in an external field. Did you remember that? Yes. Emmanuel, what is the equation for potential energy of a single charge in an external field?
Ma'am, U equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Hmm.
into Q1, Q2 plus Q2, Q3 plus Q1, Q3.
If it is potential energy of a single charge in an external field? No. Steffi, what is the equation for the potential energy of a single charge in an external field?
Ma'am, I wasn't there. My audio wasn't working, so I had to leave.
Okay, all right.
U equal
Aryan, what is the equation for potential energy of a single charge in an external electric field? Yes. Malavika?
U equal to Q into V of R.
Yes, U is equal to Q into V of R. The potential energy of a single charge in an external electric field is given by U is equal to Q into V of R, where Q is the charge and V is the potential and R is the position vector. Okay, R is the position vector with respect to that point in which we are taken. So today we are moving to the next topic. That is the second case, potential energy of a system of two charges in an external electric field. So we can move to the next case. The second case, that is potential energy of system of two charges in an external field. In an external field. So in the last class, we were discussing about the potential energy of a single charge in an external field. In order to explain that case, we are considering an external electric field. It is started from positive and it is terminating at negative. And we are considering a point at infinity. At infinity, we are placing a charge Q here. Then we want to bring this charge Q from infinity to a particular point in this electric field, in this external electric field. We consider that particular electric field, particular point on this electric field as P. In order to bring the charge from infinity to Q, from infinity to this point P, we need some work, and the work is given by W is equal to QV. Here we have Q into Vp minus V infinity. That is the potential at this point P is given by Vp and potential at infinity is given by infinity. But what is the potential at infinity? What is the value of potential at infinity? 0. Yes. Here V infinity is equal to 0. So we have the work done is given as Q into Vp, where Vp is the potential at the point P. It is nothing. It is the potential of this entire external electric field. So instead of writing this Vp, we are write as Q into V. And we add one more term, that is R. It is the position vector with respect to the point P. This is the case of the potential of a single charge in an external field. So Here we are going to discuss the potential energy of a system of two charges in an external field. So we are consider the same conditions here. First of all, we are consider an external electric field. Here we are consider an external electric field. It is marked as E. So this E represents the external electric field. So in order to explain the potential energy of a system of two charges in an external field, we consider an external electric field E. And we have another point infinity. We have another point at infinity. Now at infinity, instead of a single charge, here we have considered the system of two charges. So now at infinity, we have two charges. One is Q1 and the other is Q2. Because in this case, we are considering the potential energy of a system of two charges in an external field. So instead of single charge Q, at infinity, now we have two charges. One is Q1 and other is Q2. So we want to bring these two charges into a particular point P in this electric field E. So first of all, I want to bring the charge Q1. First, I want to bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this point, any particular point P inside this electric field E. Okay. Suppose I consider a point here and mark this point as A. I want to bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this A. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to do some kind of work in order to bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this point A inside this electric field. So what is the expression for that work done? Work done is equal to, it is a one simple charge, Q1 into, we have V A minus V infinity. But we know that the potential at infinity, V infinity is equal to 0. So that term is cancelled. Or W is equal to Q1 into VA. And VA is nothing. It is the potential of the entire electric field. So instead of writing VA, we can write V. Or work done to bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this particular point A inside this electric field is given by Q1 into V of R1. What is R1? Can you make a guess? What do you mean by R1?
Distance.
Yes, R1, it is the position vector. Here R1, because for the single charge, we are writing this equation like this. W is equal to Q into V of R, right? Where Q is the charge that we bring from infinity to that particular point. V is the potential and R is the position vector with respect to that point. So instead of that, here we are consider a charge Q1. We have two charges, but first we consider only one charge, that is Q1. Now we want to bring this charge Q1 from infinity to a particular point A inside this electric field. Okay. For that, we want to do some work, and that work done is given by W is equal to Q1 into V, Q1 V, and R1 is represents the position vector with respect to this first point A, with respect to the point A. Clear? Now we can consider another point inside the electric field, that is B. In the second case, I want to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to this point P. I want to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to the point B. Then what is the equation for work done to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to P? What is the work done? So in the first case, we can calculate as WA, here WB. What is the work done, or W1, W2? Enough. W1, now W2. What is the work done to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to this point B? Yes, just compare with the case of first case. In the case of charge Q1, here we have charge Q2. So can you make a guess? What is the work done to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to this point B?
Q2 into
Yes, Q2 into,
VB minus V infinity.
yes, VB minus V infinity. But here the potential V infinity is equal to 0. So we have W2 is equal to Q2 into VB. And this VB is nothing. It is the potential of the entire electric field. So which implies W is equal to Q2 into V, because it is the potential of the entire electric field. And for this position, we can write position vector R2. So this equation for work done to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to a particular point B inside this electric field is given by W2 is equal to Q2 into V of R2, where Q2 is the charge that we ever bring from infinity to this particular point B inside this electric field. V is the potential of this field, electric field, and R2 is the position vector with respect to the second point. Clear? So here we get two expressions for the work done. The first one is the work done to bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this point A. That work done is given by W1 is equal to Q1 into V of R1. Then another work done, the expression for another work done for bringing the charge Q2 from infinity to another point B inside this external electric field, it is given by Q2 into V of R2. Now, in this case, the potential energy of system of two charges in an external field, one more work done takes place in order to bring, now the charge Q1 is here and the charge Q2 is here. It is transferred from infinity to these 2 points. One more work done takes place, that is we want to bring this charge Q1 to Q2, that is from A to B. So one more work done takes place. We want to transfer the charge Q1 again from point A to point B. Okay, and they are separated by a distance of R12. So what is the work done to bring the charge Q1 to Q2? That is given by W12 is equal to the charge present at the point A is given by Q1. And what about the potential of this point? It is given by Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into the distance of separation R12. This is the expression for potential. Once again, I will explain this. Here we want to consider the charge Q1. Now the Q1 is placed at the point A. We have already transferred this charge Q1 from infinity to this point A. And we already transferred the charge Q2 from infinity to point B. Now the charge Q1 and Q2 is situated at A and B. Now in the third case, I want to bring this charge Q1 from point A to point B because both of them are the like charges. So again, I want to do some kind of work in order to bring this charge Q1 from A to the point B. Okay. So for that, work done can be calculated by, both of these charges are separated by a distance of R12. So W12 is equal to QV. Here the Q, which is initially situated at A, is given by Q1. And what is the potential at the point B? It is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 charge. The charge at point B is given by Q2 divided by the distance of separation between them is given by R12. This is the potential difference that we were already discussed. What is the potential difference between the 2 points? It is the work done to bring a charge from one point to another. So here it is not infinity. We have 2 points AB. That is why the equation is like this. So the work done W12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. So here the work done to bring a charge from one point to another, that is from A to B. The equation is given by W12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. So here in this case, in the potential energy of system of 2 charges in an external field, we need to calculate 3 work done. So here W12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. Okay. Then what about the net work done in this entire external field, or what is the total work done? The total work done W is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W12. Substitute all these values we have. The total work done W is equal to Q1 into V of R1 plus Q2 into V of R2 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. Okay, in the first two cases, we bring the charge from infinity to a particular point inside the electric field. And the third case, the work done is between the two charges. We want to bring the charge from one point to another. That is why the expression of work done like this. It is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. And here also this work done is stored in the form of potential energy. The potential energy is given by U is equal to Q1 into V of R1, the same expression, plus Q2 into V of R2, Q2 into V of R2, plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. This is the potential energy of a system of two charges in an external electric field. Does this derivation is clear for you? If it is clear, do you have any doubt? Yes. If you have doubt, you can ask freely. If it is clear. So in the first case, we are consider only a single charge. A single charge Q is placed at infinity, and we bring that single charge from infinity to a particular point E. In that case, we get the work done. W is equal to Q into V of R, where Q is the charge and V is the potential, R is the position vector with respect to that point. In order to explain this case, we are consider an external electric field E, and at infinity here, instead of single charge, we have two charges, that is Q1 and Q2. We want to bring these charges Q1 and Q2 separately into this electric field. For example, we are consider a point A and point B inside the external electric field. First, we are bring the charge Q1 from infinity to this point A. For this, we want to do some kind of work. And the expression for that work done is given by W is equal to Q1 into V of R1. Just same as that of the single charge. Similarly, we want to bring the charge Q2 from infinity to this point B. It is given by W is equal to Q2 into V of R2, where Q2 is the charge at infinity, V is the potential of the electric field, R2 is the position vector. In the third case, here also we bring the Q1 and the Q2 from infinity. Both of them are like charges. So what happens here? We want to bring this charge Q1 from A to this point B. So here also we want to do some kind of work, but here the charge is moving from one point to another. So the work done is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12, where R12 is the distance of separation between these two charges here. So the total work done is calculated by sum of all these work done by these individual charges. So W is equal to Q1 into V of R1 plus Q2 into V of R2 plus the third case 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. And this work done is also stored in the form of potential energy. It is given by U is equal to Q1 into V of R1 plus Q2 into V of R2 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12. Is it clear? Okay. Now we can discuss the third case. What about the third case? What is our third case? Potential energy. Potential energy of an electric dipole potential energy of an electric dipole in an external field. In an external field. Potential energy of an electric dipole in an external field. Okay. So before discussing this topic, we want to recapitalize some ideas dealing with electric dipole. What do you mean by electric dipole? Ashwin? What do you mean by electric dipole? All of you, please switch on your video. Ashwin, are you there? Okay, Lydia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Ashwin. What do you mean by electric dipole? That we were already studied in the first chapter. Lydia, what do you mean by electric dipole then? Anna, electric dipole. All right, Gayatri.
Electric dipole is the 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, what do you mean by electric dipole? Adil?
Pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance.
Yes, very good. So electric dipole is the pair of equal and opposite charges. They are separated by a small distance to L. And the strength of the electric dipole can be calculated by one term. What is that? Nia? The strength of this electric dipole can be calculated by one term. What is that? Oh, yes. All right, Gayatri. It is calculated by dipole moment, right? It can be calculated by dipole moment. What is the equation for calculating the dipole moment? Aryan? I think Anthony is ready to say the answer. What is the equation for calculating the dipole moment?
P is equal to Q into 2L.
P is equal to Q into 2L. Okay, all right, very good. So the electric dipole means electric dipole is the pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. That is what is meant by electric dipole. The strength of the electric dipole can be calculated by the dipole moment and using the equation P is equal to Q into 2L. Okay, now we can see the derivation of potential energy of an electric dipole in an external field. Okay. So for that, first of all, we are considering an electric field, external electric field. It is like this. Here we are consider an external electric field. Okay. We know that the electric field is always pointing from positive to negative. So here we have positive charge and we have negative. Now, inside this electric field, we can place an electric dipole. So first of all, we are considering an electric dipole. Electric dipole means it is an equal and opposite charge separated by a small distance. So in order to explain this potential energy of an electric dipole in an external electric field, first of all, we consider an external electric field. Inside this electric field, we place an electric dipole. We place an electric dipole. Plus Q and minus Q. It is separated by a small distance to L. Okay. Now, what do you think? If we place this electric dipole inside this electric field, is it sit like this without any deviation or rotation and all? So here we are considering an electric field. Inside this electric field, we place an electric dipole. Electric dipole means the pair of equal and opposite charges. They are separated by a small distance 12. So our arrangement is just like this. Now, students, what do you think if you place the electric dipole is placed like this inside this electric field? Is it is sit simply like this without any deviation? Yes, it is undergoes a rotation. Why? Because here a negative and here a positive charge is present. In this electric field, here a negative and positive charge is present. So the electric dipole have a tendency to attract towards the opposite charge, right? So it is undergoes this positive charge of this electric dipole have a tendency to attract it towards this negative charge. And this negative Q of this electric dipole have a tendency to attract towards this positive charge, right? So as a result, what happens? The electric dipole is undergoes a small rotation inside this electric field. Inside this external electric field, the electric dipole is undergoes a small rotation. So now we can redraw this diagram once again because the electric dipole is undergoes a small rotation. So again, we are considering an electric field, an external electric field. Negative charge. Here we have positive charge. Due to this negative and positive charge, the electric dipole inside this external electric field is undergoes a small rotation. It is just like this. Here it becomes here we have plus Q and here we have negative Q. Because this negative Q of the dipole is rotated, it is attracted by the positive charge. And this positive Q is attracted by this negative charge of this electric dipole. So initially it is just like this. Okay. Students, did we do any kind of work here to rotate this electric dipole here?
No.
No, we didn't know it. We don't know any kind of work here in order to rotate this electric dipole because it has a natural tendency to attracted by the opposite charges. The electric dipole, there is a pair of equal and opposite charges are present. So this equal and opposite charges themselves are get attracted by this opposite charges due to the presence of this electric field. Okay, but now again I want to bring this negative Q of this electric dipole back to this position, back to this negative charge. Did we need to do any kind of work here?
Yes.
Yes. In order to bring this negative Q of this dipole back to the negative side, we want to, that is, in order to rotate them in an anti-clockwise direction, we want to do some kind of work, right? So initially, the dipole is in this way, it is placed in this way. But due to the presence of this positive and negative charges, this electric dipole is undergoes a small rotation. That is the negative Q of this electric dipole get attracted by the positive charge and plus Q of this electric dipole is get attracted by this negative charge. For that purpose, we don't need to want a kind of any work done here because it has a natural tendency to attracted by the opposite charges. But now, again, I want to bring this negative Q of this electric dipole back to this negative charge. For this, I want to do some work. And what is that work done? How we can calculate that work done? W is equal to force into displacement. We can calculate that work done by W is equal to force into displacement. We can calculate that work done using the equation W is equal to force into displacement, that is F dot D. What is F dot D? According to your vector product, W is equal to F dot D, that is equal to? Yes, FD cos theta. FD cos theta. Okay. So in order to bring this negative charge minus Q back to this negative side, I want to do some kind of work. And that work done can be calculated by the equation W is equal to vector F dot vector D, where F is the force and D is the displacement. Then since it is a dot product, we have W is equal to FD cos theta. So here we are applying some force in order to rotate it back, right? So inside this electric field, what kind of effect is suffered by this electric dipole? It is a rotational motion, right? It is undergoes a rotational motion inside this electric field. And this rotational effect of the electric dipole is known as dash. Did you remember that term? The rotational effect of the
Torque.
electric. Yes, very good. The rotational effect of this electric dipole in a electric field is known as torque. So the rotational effect of the force here, F, is replaced by another term, that is torque, represented by Chou. It is replaced by Chou. Okay. So we need to do some kind of work done in order to bring this dipole back. That work done can be calculated by the equation W is equal to force into displacement F dot D. The dot product is given by W is equal to FD cos theta. Here F is the force and this force is nothing. It is used as a rotational effect of the dipole. So that force is replaced by the term torque, that is by Chou. Okay. And what is the displacement here? D. What happens to this displacement? Initially, it is at an angle theta. It is at an angle theta. When we are rotating it, it is displaced through a small angle d theta. So here the displacement is changed by d theta. When we are rotating it, it is undergoes a displacement. It is, since it is an angular rotation, it is displaced through a small angle d theta. So the displacement term d is replaced by d theta. Okay. Yes.
Will you explain that step again?
Okay. All right. Here we have W is equal to FD cos theta. Okay. W is equal to FD cos theta, where F is the force and D is the displacement. Here the force is acting on this electric dipole is actually utilized for rotating this dipole back to the negative position. So the force, the effective force is in the form of a rotational effect of the dipole. The rotational effect of the dipole in an electric field is known as torque. So the term F, the force is used here for rotating the dipole. So the force F is used known as torque. It is the rotational effect of the dipole. Now, when we are rotating this dipole back, it is displaced through a small angle theta. It is displaced through a small angle theta. So what is the displacement here? The displacement here can be taken it as d theta.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, it is displaced through an angle theta. Actually, it is undergoes a rotational motion. So it is displaced through an angle theta. And that small angle theta is given by d theta. Okay. So our equation becomes W is equal to Chou into d theta cos theta. And for a maximum work is done, cos theta is becomes 1. What about the angle theta then? For a maximum work, that is if the dipole is completely rotating, then the theta is becomes 0, right? It is rotating from here to here. Then the angle between the dipole and that of the electric field is becomes 0. That is theta is equal to 0 degree. So what is the work done? For a maximum work done, we can write W is equal to Chou d theta. For a maximum work. For a maximum work, we can write theta is equal to 0. That is the angle between the electric dipole. That is the dipole is becomes completely rotated and it is in this form. Here the angle between the dipole and that of the electric dipole, the electric field is becomes same. They are along the same direction. So theta is becomes equal to 0. So cos theta, that is 1. So W is equal to tau d theta for maximum work. Okay. So W is equal to tau d theta cos theta. For maximum work, this theta becomes 0. So cos 0 equal to 1. Then our expression for work done is becomes W is equal to tau d theta. Since the dipole is rotating displaced through a small angle d theta, here we are doing a small work done. We can write a small work done. dW is equal to tau d theta. Since it is displaced through small angles, here we are work done is also small. dW is equal to tau d theta. From this small work done, how we can calculate the total work done? The total work done to rotate this dipole. From this small work done, how we can calculate the total work done? Yes. It is by integrating. Integrating this term, we get integral dW is equal to integral tau d theta. Integral dW is equal to integral tau d theta. Now again, what is the integral of this derivation? Integral of this derivative of work. Integral of derivative of the work done is equal to work done itself. It is the W itself. So what happens to the LHS of the equation? It becomes W is equal to integral of tau into d theta. W is equal to integral of tau into d theta. Okay. In order to find out this value, we want to integrate this function of the right hand side. So in order to find out this integrated value, we want to consider the angle theta from where to where this integration is changes. Okay. So we can integrate it. W is equal to, suppose initially the dipole is here, that is the angle is theta 1, and it is rotated through a particular angle, that is to theta 2. So we can vary the integration from theta 1 to theta 2. We can find out this value for theta 1 to theta 2 later. Suppose we consider initially our dipole is at an angle theta 1, and after some rotation, this dipole is at an angle theta 2. So the integration is varies from theta 1 to theta 2 dou theta into tau d theta. Theta 1 to theta 2 into tau d theta. Okay. Then what is the expression for tau? Tau is equal to P cross E. Tau is equal to P cross E, or tau is equal to, since it is a cross product, we have PE sine theta. So substitute the value of tau here. W is equal to integral theta 1 to theta 2 tau d theta. That is integral theta 1 to theta 2 tau is PE sine theta. It is the cross product of dipole moment and that of this electric field E. Since it is a cross product, we can write tau is equal to PE sine theta d theta. And here the P is a constant. We can take it outside. So it becomes W is equal to PE into integral theta 1 to theta 2 sine theta d theta. W is equal to PE into integral theta 1 to theta 2 sine theta d theta. Did you study the integration in mathematics? No. Okay. So in this year, I think you are study the integration. So now you just write inside box. What is the d by dx of or d by d theta of sine theta? Derivative of sine
Cos
theta.
theta.
Yes. The derivative of sine theta is cos theta. Okay. But the integration of sine theta, the integral of sine theta is equal to minus cos theta. The integral of sine theta is equal to minus cos theta, just opposite to that of the derivative. The derivative of sine theta is cos theta, but the integration of sine theta is equal to cos theta. Integral of sine theta d theta. Integral of sine theta d theta is equal to minus cos theta. Put it in a side box. Otherwise, you forgot it. So W is equal to PE into integral theta 1 to theta 2 sine theta d theta. The integral sine theta d theta is nothing. It is minus cos theta. So now we can apply, we can solve this integration. So we have W is equal to PE into integral sine theta d theta is nothing. It is minus cos theta. Now apply the limits theta 1 to theta 2. That is W is equal to, taking this minus outside, we have negative PE into cos theta varies from theta 1 to theta 2. Now we can apply the limits. That is W is equal to minus PE into, first apply the upper limit, that is cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Okay, so W is equal to, here we have negative cos theta, we take that negative outside, so becomes W is equal to negative PE into cos theta, which is integration is varies from theta 1 to theta 2. That is W is equal to negative PE into, by applying the upper limit and lower limit, we have cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Now we can take this negative sign to inside the bracket. We have W is equal to PE into minus cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1. Again, rearranging, we have W is equal to PE into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So this is the work done. This is the work done by an electric dipole in an external electric field. This is the work done by an electric dipole in an external electric field. Now, if you find this value for this theta 1 and theta 2, if you find this value for theta 1 and theta 2, you can find an expression for potential energy of an electric dipole in an external electric field. So here we want to find out the theta 1. So students, initially the dipole is in this position, right? Initially when we are placing the dipole, it is in this position. Then what about the angle between this electric dipole and that of the electric field? What is the angle between them? Initially, the electric dipole is in this position and this electric field is here. What about the angle between this electric dipole and that of the electric field? They are perpendicular. That is theta 1 is equal to 90 degree. So initially, before the rotation, the angle theta 1 is equal to 90 degree. After that, we are rotating through a particular angle. So we don't know exact angle. So the theta 2 is equal to theta. Because we don't know that exact angle, we are rotating through a small angle d theta. So we can consider that theta 2 is equal to theta. Okay, so here the theta 1, because initially we are placing the electric dipole like this. In that case, the angle between the electric dipole and that of the electric field, they are perpendicular, that is equal to 90 degree. And theta 2, we don't know the exact angle through which we are rotating the dipole. So theta 2 is taken as theta degree, theta. So now we can substitute the value of theta 1 and theta 2 to this work done. It becomes W is equal to PE into cos 90 minus cos theta. Theta 2 is theta, cos theta 1. Theta 1 is 90 degree. What is cos 90? What is cos 90? Cos 90 is equal to 0. So this entire term becomes equal to 0. So PE cos 90 is equal to 0. Now we have W is equal to PE into minus cos theta, that is equal to minus PE cos theta. Minus PE cos theta. W is equal to minus PE cos theta. And we know that the dot product P dot E is known as PE cos theta. So instead of writing this PE cos theta, both are vectors. The dipole moment P and also the electric field E is vector quantities. So we can write W is equal to minus vector P dot vector E. And this work done is stored in the form of energy. This work done is stored in the form of energy. So instead of writing W, we can write U. U is equal to minus of vector P dot vector E. This is the expression for potential energy of an electric dipole in an external electric field. This is the expression for potential energy of an electric dipole in an external electric field. Okay. I will explain this once again. Is it finished? Okay. So here once again, we can explain, we can see this derivations. Okay, is it clear for you? Do you have any doubt? Okay, students, with this, we can wind up this today's session. Thank you all. Thank you.